Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of random facts about the NFL every football fan should know but probably doesn't. To start, the CenturyLink field of the Seattle Seahawks is so loud that the NFL investigated whether the team was broadcasting artificial crowd noise to disrupt the visiting teams. And it turns out their fans are just really fucking loud. The Jets have never beaten the Eagles, not once. The Green Bay Packers are the only nonprofit, community-owned NFL team. The owners are its 112,000 fans. The New England Patriots were almost named the Bay State Patriots. The name lasted a month, but the NFL didn't like the abbreviation. BS Patriots. What do you think? Not as catchy, huh? Signing up for Green Bay Packers season tickets today means you'll get them in about 1,000 years. This is because there are 86,000 people on the waiting list today. The Philadelphia Eagles are the only NFL team with a logo that faces to the left. Every other logo faces to the right or to the front. The Minnesota Vikings are the only NFL team to have an actual human as their mascot. His name is Rhaegar. The Seattle Seahawks team was named by fans. A contest was held and 20,365 entries were received. 151 people suggested the name Seahawks. What a coincidence. The name was chosen as the winner by the team's owners. The NFL bans firearms, ammunition, and feminine hygiene products from commercials and advertisements. Weird combination, I know. The NFL owns and enforces the trademark for the term Super Bowl. Almost all ads and commercial uses will instead reference the big game or something similar to that. The most pizza is sold on Super Bowl Sunday more than any other day of the year. Psychologists know that certain food is tied to certain occasions, as pizza is to the Super Bowl, as eggs are to Easter. NFL cheerleaders are generally paid between $70 and $90 per game. Cheerleaders are also forbidden from socializing with the players, so there goes their chances of marrying rich. Most cheerleaders earn $750 to $900 for an entire season. Oddly enough, NFL mascots earn far more than the cheerleaders. According to reports, their yearly salary can range from $23,000 to $65,000 per year. Water boys in the NFL make an average of $53,000 a year, still way more than the cheerleaders. The first Super Bowl to have no cheerleaders was between the Steelers and the Packers, because these are 2 of 6 teams in the NFL who don't employ cheerleaders. The other 4 teams include the Bills, the Bears, the Browns, and the Giants. The Pittsburgh Steelers were the first NFL team to have cheerleaders. And the Baltimore Ravens are the only NFL franchise to have male cheerleaders on their squad. Talk about equality. According to a recent report from the Wall Street Journal, a standard NFL game on the television features just 10 minutes and 43 seconds of actual playtime. Commercials, the big moneymaker, account for nearly 60 minutes of the 3-hour broadcast. If you're watching from home, the rest of the time is spent watching huddles, announcers talking, replays, and of course cheerleaders. It wasn't a requirement for football players to wear a helmet in the NFL until 1943. In 1994, a study of 7,000 former players found that average life expectancy for NFL players is 55, or 52 for linemen, compared to 77.6 for the general U.S. population. Here's a fun one. It's possible to score a 1-point safety, which is the rarest scoring play in football, and it hasn't ever occurred in the NFL, though it has happened twice in college games over the past decade. If the defense gets the ball in the field of play on a conversion attempt, and then the defensive player takes the ball into his own end zone and is tackled, the offensive player will be awarded 1-point safety. Each player has a number on their jersey. In the NFL, certain positions must have a number within a certain range. Players in the NFL wear uniform numbers between 1 and 99, and no two players on a team may wear the same number on the field at the same time. Rules exist which tie a player's number to a specific range of numbers for their primary position. Additionally, rules exist which limit who may handle the ball in offense. Generally, numbers 50 through 79 are not allowed to handle the ball during a play from scrimmage, though they are allowed to do so if they report to the referee as playing out of position. So these numbers are designed to easily let the referees identify which players are ball eligible carriers and which are not. So 1 through 19 are normally quarterbacks, 1 through 9 is kickers and punters, 10 through 19 is wide receivers, kickers and punters, and so on the list goes. But it's for the refs to better identify who can receive a forward pass beyond the line of scrimmage and who can't. It takes about 300 cows a year to make a full season's worth of footballs for the NFL. Wilson Sporting Goods manufactures all of the footballs for the NFL. In October, NFL players are covered head to toe in pink accessories and equipment as part of the league's breast cancer awareness initiative. But in a not-so-proud moment for the NFL, it was revealed that only a small fraction of the proceeds from breast cancer merchandise actually go to cancer research. According to an article posted on Business Insider, only 8.01% of money spent on pink NFL merchandise is actually going towards cancer research. For more than a decade now, the players who were featured on the cover of the Madden NFL video games were cursed with a serious injury during the following season. This started in 1999 when Garrison Hearst broke his fibula, causing him to sit out for 2 seasons, and has continued on with several other players, including Barry Sanders, Michael Vick, Brett Favre, and Troy Polamalu. Bill Belichick is the only head coach in the NFL who refuses to have his likeness and name represented in any John Madden football game. According to a 2009 Sports Illustrated article, 78% of former NFL players are broke or under financial stress 2 years after retirement. That means they are bad with money. During the 2014 NFL season, Microsoft and the NFL struck a 5-year, $400 million deal to use Microsoft Surface as the official tablet of the NFL, but the announcers incorrectly kept calling them iPads. Silly announcers. The NFL cannot host games on Fridays or Saturdays until late December, as federal law prohibits professional football leagues from competing with college or high school football, which typically hosts games on those dates. The NFL requires football fields to be built either facing north or south in the shade so the sun doesn't interfere with play. In 1982, an icy field caused an NFL game to be scoreless into the 4th quarter. With less than 5 minutes left, the home team called a timeout so that a snowplow could clear a small section of field for the kicker. They won 3-0, and snowplows were subsequently banned from NFL games. Roughly 130 plays are run during the course of a game, not counting special teams. A coach's master playbook can contain about 1,000 plays. Pretty much anything that could ever happen in a game is prepared for. The 2011 collective bargaining agreement that also is in charge of the salary cap only allows for 14 padded practices over the entirety of a regular season. So all the other days they have to practice without pads. The NFL Pro Bowl, pro football's version of an all-star game, has been played at Aloha Stadium in Honolulu, Hawaii since 1980. If some NFL teams don't sell enough tickets for a home game, they won't broadcast the game within a certain radius of the stadium, thereby forcing people nearby to buy tickets if they want to see the game. Good marketing strategy. The NFL makes more than $9 billion a year, and they're projected to make more than $25 billion a year by 2027. They pay their CEO more than $30 million a year, but 68% of NFL stadium construction cost since 1923 comes from taxpayer money. Good use of funds. If all 256 regular season games finish in a 7-7 tie, the playoffs would be determined by a coin toss. The tie-breaking procedures in the NFL record and fact book have everything covered. It's estimated that a boy born to Samoan parents is 56 times more likely to play in the NFL than any other kid in America. This was examined by a study done by 60 Minutes. This year, the NFL has changed the rules on tackling, making it tougher on defenses, which will throw some games into monsoons of yellow penalty flags. Players are no longer allowed to lower their heads to make a tackle, or it's a 15-yard personal foul and possible suspension. On the surface, this is a good thing. The NFL is taking real strides to address player safety. The problem is that at pro athlete speeds, these kind of hits are almost impossible to avoid, especially considering that collisions in football, whether it's tackling or blocking, are built around the physics principle that the low man wins. Getting low is what players are taught from day one. Now it's a potential penalty on every play. One former Bronco called the situation a fucking mess, which of course is the NFL specialty. So there you have it. That was part 2 of random NFL facts every football fan should know, but probably doesn't. How many of those facts did you guys know, and how many were completely new to you? Leave a comment and let me know. Thanks for watching.